Hi, this is Andrea, and I'm here with you for HIT 445 Quality Management. We are finishing off week 4 with Chapter 18, Managing Healthcare Performance Improvement Projects. If you want to follow along in your book, we are on page 365. Like Chapter 17, I have the feeling that this slideshow is going to go really quick. All right, our learning objectives according to the book are that we want to look at the function of project management as it relates to performance improvement. Identify the specific knowledge and skills that are required for team leadership, look at project life cycles and group dynamics, and see what steps a team leader should follow to successfully implement and complete a project. So, it says here that bureaucratic organizations with highly structured hierarchies are less accepting of the project management concept. Perhaps. Organizations where employees interact across organizational boundaries on a regular basis are more open to project management. Usually true. But there are exceptions to both. So you kind of have to go along with this and see what the organization wants to do if you are put in a project management situation. So the first part of a project's life cycle is initiation. You identify an improvement opportunity, determine whether or not it's feasible, look at what is your scope going to be and the objectives that you want to come out of it with, that you want to fulfill and come out of it with. Identify team members, create a vision, and then once you have the team members, everyone works to create vision and mission statements. Then you get into planning. This is identifying the activities or tasks that the team will perform and estimate the duration of those activities. You develop final system requirements and criteria for standards of success. So how do you know you've reached your goals? You've got to have the criteria. You develop a schedule, cost estimates, then you perform tasks, track progress, develop training plans, and implement those plans. Execution. This is the implementation phase where you're presenting recommendations to leadership, executing your implementation plan, begin training, track and monitor progress, and revise the project as needed. Then you're moving into monitoring and controlling where you're looking at variances, performing corrective activities or corrective actions. You update your project plan if it needs it, as it needs it. You make sure that project deliverables conform to established quality standards. You identify and address any new risks and communicate the status to stakeholders. The closure is you develop a final report. That's where all the results are reported and next steps may be identified. You celebrate your success. You can continue evaluation and control, which is always a good idea because just because something went well doesn't mean it's going to be still going well 6 months later. And then, of course, you identify those new opportunities for improvement. And if you know of those opportunities for improvement, make sure you include those in your final report. So team group dynamics. There's cautious affiliation, there's competitiveness, harmonious cohesiveness, and collaborative teamwork. And I think your book covers all of those fairly well. If you're still struggling with those concepts once you finish taking a look at the book, I would encourage you to go out to the internet and do some research on those and maybe see if you can find some videos. Project management tools, Gantt charts and PERT charts are the most common and usually the most helpful. Gantt charts plan and track progress of the project. They plot out the tasks, show the duration, and when things are going to overlap. PERT charts, on the other hand, those identify the order and the projected duration of the activities that will be happening. And so if you're not comfortable with Gantt and PERT, I would go out to the internet, take a look. And it might even be fun. I have done Gantt charts and PERT charts in Excel before, and it might be fun for you to just pull up Excel and create one. And just, there's formats in there for you to do it, but you could create one for something very simple. Decide of a project that you want to do at home. Maybe you want to have a spring garden, and you can Gantt chart and PERT chart out what your spring garden will be. What are the steps that you need to go through so that on X date, whether that's March or April, you have your date that you determine that you're actually going to break ground or that you're going to plant your seeds. You determine what your goal is, what means that your project is finished. For some people, it may be that they start planting, or that they have the ground prepared, or that they begin to prepare the ground. For others, it may be that they actually have everything planted. But that would be an example of a project that you might have. Another one might be if you are planning to redo a room in your house. Maybe you want to repaint, or get new curtains, maybe get a new rug, or maybe you want to just rearrange the furniture into a better configuration. You could use that as your project and just try it out. But I just encourage you to try the tools. Take 30 minutes and just try them if that's something that you'd be interested in. All right, so why do projects fail? Well, some people have really great sounding ideas, but those ideas might have quite a few flaws in them and may not really be viable in the end. The other thing is, you have to, whatever you're going to pursue has to be valuable. If it's not valuable to the organization or to you as an individual, there's no point in pursuing it. Sometimes there's unrealistic project deadlines. An example at the moment happens to be that Iowa's HIM Association has decided that they're going to throw in with Ohio and utilize Ohio's virtual state meeting. But the deadline for submitting for early bird pricing is February 10th, which is going to make it very tight. So Shelley and I are working on how can we get around that unrealistic project deadline so that we can still participate and be a part of that. So unrealistic project deadlines can sometimes kill a project. Assigning underskilled project managers to highly complex projects. Yes, if you're going to make a 4-course meal, you're not probably going to put an 8 or 9-year-old child in a leadership position to make that meal happen. It's complex. There's a lot involved in a 4-course meal. And you don't want to put somebody in there that hasn't done it or doesn't have the skills or maturity level to successfully pull that together. So that would be sort of a personal example. My daughter likes to come up with lots of ideas for a 4-course meal, but there's no way on earth that I would put her in the kitchen to actually functionally cook it. Not to mention my kitchen is still in a bit of disarray from house renovations. But anyway, not ensuring solid business sponsorship. If you don't have support of the organization to pursue this project, it will fail. You've got to have that support. If the medical staff doesn't support it, if senior leadership doesn't support it, if the stakeholders involved don't support it, it's going to fail. So these are reasons why projects fail. No different than in your life or in mine. I can have all the great projects in the world that I want to accomplish, but if my husband's not in agreement and he's not willing to share the funds to make it happen, it will fail. All right, not monitoring project vital signs and missing the signs that tell you that things are going off track or getting worse or completely missed. That would be an example. Failing to develop a robust project process architecture. That's pretty fancy. Basically, it's not making sure that you have all the steps and resources and everything that you're going to need, that it's not going to support it. It would be like your project is to add a piece of software, but you don't include the fact that you're going to absolutely need an interface. Well, that's not going to work. Not establishing a comprehensive project portfolio. Well, that's a possibility too, that maybe you don't understand what all is out there that can be utilized, or you're missing a component that's necessary. So key elements for a successful team, they're here on the screen. They're all true. You've got to build your team. The team has to participate. And they have to participate in the team building process. They have to be committed with that. You have to have goals, roles, responsibilities, procedures, and relationships, and in that order. And you have to watch out for personality conflicts, and you have to deal with them. You can't just ignore or wipe them away or what have you. You have to deal with personality conflicts. Not everyone's going to get along. Some people really dislike each other, and it's not necessarily your business to fix that, but it is your business to make sure that it doesn't throw the team off course. All right, that's it for chapter 18. Take care. Have a fabulous rest of your week, and I'll be back next week. We only have one chapter. It's chapter 7. We're going back for customer satisfaction. So hope all goes well with you. Bye.